What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the LTQ Wrestling Podcast. It's been a minute. Hopefully, everybody's been enjoying their holidays. Christmas is past. New Year's right around the corner. QJ and Tears are joining me today for another episode of the LTQ Wrestling Podcast. We're talking about some of the wrestling rumors, news, some of our favorite moments from 2024, and what wrestlers we might see having a big year in 2025. So, QJ, I'll start with you. How was your Christmas? You looking forward to talking some wrestling today?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm ready to see what's in store.
Good to hear. Tears, how about yourself?
Well, my Christmas isn't over yet, personally. Still got places to go, things to get, things to give, and all that jazz. But I'm ready to spend some time actually talking about wrestling for the first time probably this month, like publicly, I guess.
Well, let's get into it. So there's been a lot of talk about Wrestlemania. Royal Rumble is pretty much in a month. A lot of matches have been talked about. Obviously, we don't know what's actually going to go on. There's a lot of, rumors and speculation, and you don't really know what to take seriously. There's been talk about Cena and Logan Paul, and apparently a lot of people in WWE don't want that match to be Cena's last WrestleMania match. Another match that's been thrown around is Cody Rhodes against John Cena, potentially for the WWE Undisputed Championship. So, QJ, I'll start with you. Big Cena fan. Is this a match you would potentially like to see at WrestleMania?
I wouldn't mind seeing it. I don't think it. Well, I don't think it should be for that title because let's say if Cena do win, I feel like it needs to be someone that could really boost somebody's career. Because gotta remember Cody beat Reigns, the longest reigning champion ever. Then you have Cena beat him. I feel like he should go after. I feel like they should have him face Walter the other title. I say Cody should face. Hopefully, they have him face someone else that could get a win, and they could really boost their career up.
Yeah, that would be the worst possible outcome. It does seem like it's either going to be Rock, Cena, or Punk for the title. I haven't really heard anybody else's names tossed around. Maybe Rollins, but that's really all I think they could really do right now. Maybe Reigns, but those are probably the five names. Tears, how about you? How you feeling about a potential John Cena versus Cody Rhodes match at Mania?
I'll put it this way: I can see the match happening, but I don't see it happening at Mania. Maybe after, maybe at next year's SummerSlam if Cena still. Wait, no, that work? When is Cena actually done? Like, do we know what his final pay per view is going to be?
He said pretty much at the end of 2025 he's done. So pretty much by 2026, January 1st, he'll be done.
Okay. So yeah, I can see Cody versus Cena at potentially SummerSlam because SummerSlam is the pay per view I think more of for John Cena because I think most of his moments besides Mania was SummerSlam. I would be excited for them, but for WrestleMania, I feel like you can easily do something else with those two. So I guess I'm giving a split answer. Yes to Cena versus Cody, but no to Mania.
Think it should be for the title or no?
Yes, yeah, I do. Which would involve Cody winning at Mania, which honestly, with what we know, probably is going to happen. Because I believe Gunther and Cody are going to have long reigns. So, and Cody's, for some reason, for me, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. Or at least not yet. Gunther's kind of just started. Well, not just, but you know what I'm trying to say. So, it would require Cody to win at Mania, which means you got to put him against somebody who could take the loss but make it a great match to remember. And Cena gets his last world title match. That's not saying he gets his last title win.
Yeah, for me, I I feel like this match would be tough to book just because you're doing two baby faces. Who really plays the heel in this would be my big question. And really, for me, Cena's gonna have to win a lot of matches to really, and even if he faces Gunther, you're gonna have Cena go on a massive winning streak. Because let's not forget, He hasn't won a singles match on TV since like 2018, 2017. It's about to be 6-7 years since he's won a singles match. So to build him up to be a viable contender right now, I know he's John Cena, he's the GOAT and all that, but like if we're being logical, he's lost a lot of matches the last few years. So whether he's facing Cody, Gunther, Rock, I've heard that tossed around potentially. I don't know how to feel about that. I guess it would make sense. Third final match for them, maybe, but Cody and Cena, yes, it would be a big money match. It's your two biggest baby faces in wrestling right now, in my opinion. So I mean, I'm not against it. It's just I don't know how they would build it up and who would play the heel. So
I do want to point out, like, I can also see Cody just giving him the match, like, because Cody Rhodes.
I could see that too. Like Cody is that type of champion. Like maybe they do something like that. That's a possibility. Does Cena beat Cody? I don't know if I see that happening. I mean, no, I don't either. That's tough to really see happening. I do see the intrigue with it. It's Cena's last WrestleMania. You want him to have a big time opponent. It would just make more sense for me to have him face Gunther, even though I don't even think he should be the one to beat Gunther. I know a lot of fans might argue with that, but Gunther has barely taken losses. And again, unless you build up Cena to be on a massive winning streak, it's going to be really hard to see him just beating one of your dominant champions. So we'll have to see, but that's tough because there's a lot of big names in WWE right now. I don't know who's going to be in the world title scene, but Cody and Cena, as much as it's intriguing, I think they have better options for making sense storyline wise. So that's how I would potentially see that going on. So, Penta. It's been shown vignettes. A lot of fans speculate he's going to debut on the Raw debut on Netflix next week. Him and Phoenix had a falling out with AEW. There's been reported everywhere. Phoenix is still under contract, so he's not going to show up to WWE anytime soon. Penta's going to be solo. And Penta's a big name, and I get tired of all these ignorant fans saying, "Oh, he's just Sin Cara or he's the Rey Mysterio knockoff." Like, just be quiet. Like, just because he's wearing a mask doesn't mean he's a Rey Mysterio knockoff. And to compare him to Sin Cara is some of the most disrespectful bullshit I've ever heard people say. So whoever says that shit, just be quiet. But Tears, I'll start with you. Do you see Penta having a lot of success in WWE?
I can see the hardcore fans making it to where like it could be seen as it, but you always got to remember there's always that language barrier. Penta is going to have a real tough time unless he learns clear enough English to do a promo because WWE is very different. You got to be like promo savvy and all that. So, well, I would say like in ring wise, more than likely, but there's going to be learning curves that he's going to have to learn that we fan base wrestling fans we've all made the joke about Ricochet's run in WWE's where like he just never got over that mic learning curve. The thing is though about that joke, it's a real serious thing. So I'm going to say yes, but it's a hesitant yes.
And QJ, what about you? I know you're a big Penta fan. Do you see him having success in WWE?
It's kind of up in the air. I mean, well, we already know his moveset gonna be nerfed. Probably won't be able to do too much intense stuff. Yeah, I like Ted said with the mic. Haven't really heard Penta talk like that, so he's definitely gonna have to get those mic skills, going because we in WWE now, so it's mainly just about talking more than wrestling. So that's sadly where we at with WWE. But yeah, I'm up in the air with it, so we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely get what both y'all are saying. Like Penta not being able to talk to it, hold him back. Maybe they give him and Phoenix a manager. I know AEW tried to give him what was his name? Alex Abrahantes, or I don't even remember his name, but he was the manager they had, but he never really talked. Maybe WWE considers that. I do think Penta will have more success than Phoenix just because Penta has a lot of charisma and the zero meal thing and everything. I do think that will get him over with the fans to some extent. But again, like y'all said, he can't really talk. So it's like, what's the overall meter of success that him and Phoenix could potentially have? Because Phoenix to me is all like very Ricochet-like, where it's like, what story are you going to put him in? He can't talk. He can't really do much besides work, so he's just going to be kind of limited. Penta, more charisma, but again, going to be limited. I feel like they're just going to be another tag team. They're pretty much going to be a better version, in my opinion, of what the Motor City Machine Guns have been in WWE. They're going to be a big deal in the tag team division when they do eventually both get there, but that's about it. And for Penta's solo run, I'm sure he'll start off hot, but like, is he going to win any single championships or have any solo success? We'll see there. I don't really know.
Considering who the champions are right now.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't know if I really see that. We'll have to see, though. I mean, in AEW, they didn't really have the best run either. I know they were tag champs a lot, but like really, besides the Young Bucks match, there ain't a lot I really remember from their AEW runs, if I'm being personally honest. And you know, I get why they wanted to leave AEW. I don't know what went on behind the scenes. Phoenix has said he was treated unhuman-like or something like that on Twitter. I don't know what went on, but maybe more of that had come out once Phoenix is out of there. But for me, Penta, I have probably trying to think of a comparison here. Maybe I guess kind of like a Cesaro type WWE run where he'll never be a world champion, but he might maybe win a few solo championships. But other than that, there's just not going to be much to work with. But we'll see. You never know. Maybe WWE and Triple H will surprise us. So TNA, where Penta used to work, and Penta was a world champion in TNA at one point. TNA brought back Tessa Blanchard. That's been met with very negative thoughts from fans. Even wrestlers in the back are pissed off about it. I know Jordan Grace, who's one of the wrestlers leaving to come to WWE in, I think, February, maybe, or into January, is not happy to be working with her. They used to be friends. They had a falling out. But TNA is losing a lot of talent in 2025. Josh Alexander, Mike Bailey, Jordan Grace, Rhino, Kushida, many more are leaving the company. Those are some big names. Might not be big names to people who only maybe watch WWE, but for the TNA brand, that's a lot of their big names. So, Tears, I'll start with you. Is this, if you're TNA or a fan of TNA, is this cause for concern that a lot of these talents are leaving, and if they bring back somebody like Tessa Blanchard that's not liked by a lot of the locker room and fans?
That's a really tough one because, yeah, they're all big names. However, I think I recall in 2015, TNA was in this situation also because someone correct me in the comment section, but wasn't it 2015 where they lost Kurt Angle, Sting, AJ Styles, and many others at the same time? Like, yeah, those are big names, but though, in my opinion, Sting, Styles, and Angle, along with others, I believe Joe and Aries as well. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong about that. But it's just like, it sucks, but we've been proven for who knows how many years TNA can find a way to survive it. Like, they can just manage to make somebody a big star again. They can manage to make somebody feel like they could take their place. Tessa Blanchard being there on the other hand, I'm gonna let it be known, like, as a wrestler, like, her in-ring work I find very good. I think she is one of the top female wrestlers in-ring wise. Character wise, though, it's just like, oh boy, that's the problem right there. So I feel like if it wasn't for Blanchard coming back in, people would probably see it as a bad sign how many people are leaving, but not have as big of a worry. But the fact, like, it feels like she coming in and all these people coming out, it feels like probably people are thinking like this is some kind of weird trade-off, and that's what's getting people more mad. So I'm gonna say this is probably a bad thing, but it's not the worst thing ever.
Yeah, because Nick Nemeth, many of you know him as Dolph Ziggler, he did say TNA is bringing in other talent. I'm not sure how big of a name or anything any of them talent are going to be. But he did say, yeah, we're losing some talent, but we also got some deals lined up. So we'll have to see who they end up bringing in. For me, Tessa Blanchard, I haven't really seen a lot of her work. I didn't really watch TNA when she was world champion and all that. I heard it was not a fun time in TNA. I really started watching TNA again probably 2 years ago. So I'm not, but I have heard a lot of the stuff that people don't like about her, how she's racist, how she's a bully, how she's harassed people. So, I'm all for second chances, but I've also seen interviews where she doesn't take a lot of accountability for how she's acted. So that's kind of a concern. We'll have to see. I mean, TNA really can't complain. I mean, they really just got to get anybody they can get in there right now because, I mean, with all the names they're losing, I mean, it's a name, I guess. But QJ, what do you think about Tessa Blanchard being back in TNA? Are you concerned about them losing a lot of these talents in 2025?
Yeah, Tesla, I ain't really watched much of her, but she is a good in the ring. But like you said, attitude outside of it is not good. But I mean, this is all right. I guess giving second chances, but we'll just have to see on that. And yeah, they lose a lot of talent, but like you said, they got more to come. So I believe in them. I feel they'll bounce back for it.
There ain't no sexy star heat.
Yeah, that he was crazy. I mean, TNA is a company that never dies, like Tier said. A lot of people thought they were done before, they aren't. And they've really done better than AEW when it comes to ticket sales, believe it or not. Even though
See?
AEW has a high barrier. So they're
That is
not
so
doing
crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. I'm a huge fan of Josh Alexander. I like Jordan Grace. Mike Bailey's already going to AEW. We'll see how that turns out. A lot of good talent there in that free agent. Rhino, he's at a point where he's probably more of a producer, agent, but TNA will be fine. We'll have to see though.
I'll take a random
Next
gore here or there.
Yeah. Next two topics are going to be about 2025 and 2024. And we're going to be talking about what wrestlers, for me personally, I'm going to give a man and a woman wrestler who I see having a big 2025. So QJ, I'll start with you. It could be one wrestler, it could be a few wrestlers. Who do you see having a big, maybe breakout year or a better year in 2025 in the world of professional wrestling?
I could see Braun Breaker. And I don't know. I guess we could see Kevin. I say Kevin Owens. He's been more involved in things. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I like both those answers. That was going to be one of mine, Braun Breaker. I think Braun Breaker getting a full year on the main roster. Yes, he's already won the Intercontinental title and everything, but I do feel like going to be another year of Braun Breaker, going on the train of Braun Breaker. KO, yeah, I could see KO having a better year. I mean, him as a heel is already intriguing to me. I love the story with him and Cody, so can't wait to watch their ladder match at Royal Rumble. I'll go ahead and give mine. For women, might be kind of an obvious one, Tiffany Stratton. She's going to win the title next year. She has missed Money in the Bank. They got to stop teasing her fucking cashing in. For love of God, stop teasing her every week. Jesus, man. They teased it last night on SmackDown. Nia Jackson laying down in the ring. The fans get on their feet. It's like, bro, they're not going to have her cash on the last SmackDown 2024. Like, stop it. But she's going to cash in. I mean, maybe, but I don't see it. I think that they've teased enough. They're going to have to do it on a big show now, like to deal with Priest. They've done too much teasing for me to really think they're going to do it on just some random SmackDown. But maybe. But her and probably Braun Breaker. I would throw Trick Williams in there as well. I think Trick's going to probably debut on the main roster, probably on the Raw debut potentially. So I think he has big plans lined up as well. Tears, who do you have as your breakout stars for 2025?
All right, you guys mentioned Breaker and Stratton. I'm gonna say names that haven't been said yet. I feel like yes, he's already won a world title, but I feel like he's actually going to be more prevalent on the roster as himself now. That fans have now seen him as a big deal. I'm going to say Damian Priest is going to be seen as more of a main event star now, because normally, like, I would say 2024 is where like fans got to know him, got to be cool with him, got to actually put faith in him. 2025 is going to be the year, in my opinion, to where like, okay, now we could actually get some payoff in our investments with Priest. And for the females, I'm going to say probably when she comes back, Jade. Now that she's not women's tag champ, I feel like she can finally be free to do something on the roster. So I feel like Priest, we're going to get our payoffs with him, and Jade, we're going to finally get to actually do stuff with.
Both those are great answers as well. I like both those. I think all those answers we gave could potentially be big, not necessarily break out, but have great 2025. I mean, there ain't really any wrong answers. We'll have to see. I think Roxanne Perez could be mentioned in a conversation as well. I've heard she's going to be debuting on the main roster. I think a lot of fans like Roxanne Perez. Not even speaking just WWE, but like a lot of like Kyle Fletcher. I'm a huge fan of Kyle Fletcher. I think he could have a big year in 2025. A lot of possibilities. So we'll have to see what happens. So to end this podcast episode, we're going to be talking about our favorite wrestling moment of 2025. Probably obvious to a lot of people what many would say, but I'm curious what y'all are going to choose. So QJ, I'll start with you. What was your favorite wrestling moment, wrestling moment of 2024? I mistyped on that, but favorite wrestling moment of 2024.
All right, I got two, but I'm gonna go with Jey Uso winning the title. That was a good moment. They haven't done like a title change on the regular show in a while, so that was a great. I did like that moment. And the second one was obviously Cody winning against Reigns. Everybody was proud, happy. Um, just a good moment. Everybody, just how the match went. All our favorites came out, got their little finishes in. Just moments. It's really something a match to, I guess, look back on for the moment. It's not really the prime match quality, but it was good just seeing Reigns get pinned. You know, just that was just a good moment, and just a lot. Like when you a lot of our favorites that got pinned, you see the fans get on their feet like, dang, wow, they beat him. It's like the final boss has been accomplished. So I was proud of that. I was proud of that though.
I like both those. I think those are two big moments, especially the Cody beating Reigns. That was definitely going to be in my list. I'll throw out another one for me. Those two are definitely on my list, but I'll throw out an AEW one. Bryan Danielson winning the AEW World Title against Swerve. That was one of my favorite moments. I thought it was a great match. The emotion, just awesome moment. And I mean, those three are probably up there with me too. I'm trying to think of any other moments that come off the top of my head. No, those are probably the main three. Tears, how about you? What's your favorite wrestling moment of 2024?
Of course, I would add for WWE the Cody and Reigns fight. I would as well. That's something that all three of us are going to agree on. But I'll throw in a weird AEW one. There's a lot of argument for this, but personally, I feel like no matter what we say, their world title scene has been, in my opinion, really good this year. Like I have not had a single issue with a single one who has won the world title this year. MJF, great champion. Joe, dominant champion. Swerve, a fun champion. Great feuds from Swerve, in my opinion. Great, like fun, different matches. Ospreay good, Bryan good. I just enjoyed the world title scene from AEW this year.
Yeah, AEW has some good world champions. And before someone gets on our case, I forgot to mention the CM Punk returning. Yes, that is in the moments. I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, could you not say CM Punk returning?" Yes, that's in mine too. It didn't come off the top of my head, but CM Punk returning, obviously. And yeah, I mean, those are probably some of the top moments, really. I mean, I was trying to think of a top woman's moment this year.
Somebody actually different winning the women's Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, Chelsea Green winning. I mean, there's a lot of Chelsea Green fans out there. Maybe that's somebody's top moment. I know a lot of people are happy for Chelsea winning the women's United States title. So hey,
I saw a joke on Reddit saying to where like Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green, the only couple to ever win the U.S. championships.
Yeah, that's accurate. I mean, that's an accurate statement. Yeah, I mean, 2024 had a lot of good wrestling. I think 2024 was filled with, obviously, there's some bad stuff with the Vince stuff and, AEW airing the Punk backstage stuff and all that. But it was a good year for wrestling to get it back on the map and really get people invested, especially WWE. I know AEW's kind of took a hit, but I mean, WWE is really taken off. So 2025, I expect no different. I expect greatness throughout. I hope AEW gets back on track. I'm not no fan that, fuck AEW and WWE all the way anytime. I want all companies to be successful because I love professional wrestling and I want all companies to have jobs and all that. So hopefully all companies are successful.
Credit.
Yeah, I mean, it's another place for wrestlers to work. So whether you like it or hate it, I mean, look. Any final thoughts from y'all before we wrap up this podcast?
Who would we say has been the MVP of 2024, like for male and female?
So I will give it to Drew McIntyre for male. I think Drew is a hell of a year. I think he's doing some of the best work of his career. He deserves a lot of credit. Him and the Punk feud.
Yep.
And Punk was injured and not even able to compete, and they still made this feud top notch. And they had a hell in a cell match, no pun intended. But like an awesome match of the year candidate. And Drew's came back and he's already involved in the main story. He's intriguing. He's attacking all the bloodline members. So I think Drew for the male, for me, and for female, there's a lot of options. Probably either Liv or Rhea, if I'm being honest. I think Rhea's had a hell of a year. I know a lot of fans have liked the way she's been booked since losing the title. They call her Rhea Hogan and all this other nonsense, but those are mine. But what are y'all's picks for that?
I'll say Liv for the men.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm thinking Drew too. I like the way he came back and stuff like that. Yep.
Good picks. How about you, Tears?
I'm gonna lean towards. Well, yes, it's either Liv or Rhea. I'm gonna lean towards Rhea. And for the men's, probably. I could say Cody. I really could say Cody. But I'm going to have to say Punk because the dude just shows up, does one match, gets injured, and remains the most talked about individual and remains the most prevalent individual on the card without even doing a single match. Like, he has had, like, on one hand that many matches this whole year. And he was able to captivate the screen, captivate the mic, keep it on him, keep being prevalent. So I'm going to have to say Punk.
Yeah, Punk deserves a lot of credit, too. I mean, he's really done a hell of a job since returning. And we'll have to see how next year goes for him. But, yeah, we can all thank Jack Perry for all this happening. I always see all the memes saying that. Thank Jack Perry for coming back. And I think AEW really regretted Punk leaving. I know he didn't get along with everybody, but, man, he was really their main guy. And the ratings have really plummeted ever since he's left, really. So, I mean, hopefully they can recover from that. But, hey, 2025 is a new year. Maybe AEW will get better booking. They're going on Max January 1st. I can't wait for that. We got WWE on Netflix. It's going to be the year of streaming. We already had NFL on Netflix. So, streaming is taking over. And hopefully it's a good year. So, we'll have to see. So, anything you'd like to say, Tears? I heard you saying something.
I still have my personal opinion about the streaming thing because I don't know if certain streaming services can handle like weekly stuff like that because I might just be like still a little salty about the quality that Netflix did to Tyson and Jake Paul fights. Yes, I am pissed off about that and I will remain agitated about that. But the quality was bad, so I'm going to say I'm skeptical on the quality of the streaming services.
I can understand that. I mean, at least from what I heard, it worked good. NFL had a lot of people watching on Christmas, and it worked fine for most, unless you had garbage internet. Because a lot of people in the comments are like, "Oh, my shit is buffering." Maybe it's just your internet. Because for a lot of other people, it's fine. Like, ain't always the streaming service. Oh, your internet sucks. Like, but I think it'd be good.
Bumville Avenue.
Yeah, I mean, just because you have McDonald's internet doesn't mean you can blame Netflix. It's not that. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the podcast episode of 2024. It's been a blast. Hopefully, big things to come in 2025 for the YouTube channel. I've been posting consistently, and hopefully, you guys enjoyed. Peace.
Peace.
Don't do anything stupid.